Hello and welcome to this episode of Thank an Engineer. On this episode, it's going to be life without jet engines. My name is Jacob Roshnik, and I'm going to take you on a quick journey. So we're obviously losing jet engines for this episode. The most obvious thing that comes to mind is we're going to lose some jet aviation stuff. A little bit less obvious, natural gas power plants, water jet propulsion, liquid rocket engines, and the shipping industry is impacted as well. For jet aviation, it's quite obvious. We're going to lose the powerhouse of modern aviation, which is the jet engine and consequently the turboprop engine. So flight times are going to extend because radial propeller-driven aircraft cannot quite gain the speed due to sonic booms on the end of the props, which is going to take us down to around 300 or so miles an hour. So still a good clip, but not quite the 500 we're seeing cruising with modern jet aircraft. Ticket prices are going to rise because you're going to have to spend more gallons per hour because you're going to be spending more time in the air. You're going to have to pay your pilots more. You have to pay your flight attendants more. Also, with radial engines, you have a decrease in thrust, which means you can't power those giant Lugin 747s with 4 radial engines. You're also going to lose multi-purpose military aircraft. So the F-35, love it or hate it, you're going to lose that bad boy, unfortunately, because radial engines cannot put the thrust that the modern jet engine can. Less efficient natural gas power plants. Energy prices are going to rise because it's less efficient to burn in other ways. It's not quite as efficient to go ahead and boil some water and drop the steam through a turbine. So that's unfortunate. Boats, specifically naval maritime vessels, are going to lose an efficient power source. So they're also going to have to carry more fuel, more pollutants. All around, not a great thing. Loss of water jet propulsion. For all you outdoorsy people, no jet skis. It's a sad day. You're going to lose a powerful style of propulsion, which is the impeller jet. And there's going to be more maintenance costs because with the water jet, more of the actual engine is out of the water. There's only a couple of moving parts that are actually in the water in that corrosive salt water. So overall, more maintenance costs to keep everything else up to date. For liquid rocket engines, there's going to be no moon landing in the time frame that we saw back during the space race. It's probably going to take another 10, 20 years. You're only going to be able to use solid rocket fuels, which yes, they have a high specific impulse, but they are not throttleable, which means you can't shut them down and turn them back on in space. You're going to have to fully ditch one solid rocket fuel after it completely burns out. So not great. For overnight shipping, medicines and treatments don't get there on time. Let's be real, you didn't forget Grandma's birthday last year, but sure, overnight shipping really did help. You won't have that now. And shipping costs rise because obviously it takes a lot less time to fly a 737 worth of cargo across the country, but it's going to cost a lot more to pay your drivers and the gas mileage and all the tires, brakes, all that stuff for a giant 18-wheeler. So you should thank an engineer. They work pretty hard on that. They're still working hard on it. Thanks to all these kind people in Texas Instruments for the idea and the images. Have a good night.